fine but cold Marathon Stadium in Newcastle, and the Knights find themselves in 6th spot at the moment. Let's have a look at the updated points table, and you can see that win, lose or draw, the Brisbane Broncos are going to be on top of the table after round 18. Canberra with their away win, and the Roosters with their away win last night, well, they move into 20, and there's Newcastle 6th spot on 19 points, so close enough if good enough, and the Knights going for 4 in a row. And Wally Lewis is with me as well. The Brisbane Broncos are calling on their youth today, Wally, but there's also a recall for one of their veterans.
Yes, of course, Kerrod Walters getting a start back with the Brisbane Broncos. It's been a 4-year absence for Kerrod, of course, who's been playing in England over the last couple of seasons. But if there's any criticism that's been aimed at the Broncos over the last couple of months, it's been that they haven't managed to get on the front foot enough. The boss, Wayne Bennett, decided to move Kevin Walters into halfback. That fixed that problem. And, of course, the recall of Kerrod may now give them the chance to be able to attack from the dummy half position. Yeah, the Walters boys are together again, both 32 years of age now, plenty of experience on board. They'll have to lead a very young pack. They will, and I'm sure that the way that these guys will go out there, they've got enough experience between nearly 500 games there, a pile of experience. The real bonus that they're going to be able to give their coach out there this afternoon is the communication. Both talk very well on the football field, and they're going to need to have to do that to be able to reassure some of the younger blokes exactly what's necessary out there, particularly here at Marathon Stadium. It's not a nice place to play your first game. OK, also joining us in commentary today is Brett Kenny. Now, Brett, I don't want to remind you, well, I will remind you about this. Of course, it's a big day for Warren Ryan. He's coming up to a milestone, and he said during the week that one of his greatest days in rugby league was when he coached Canterbury to beat your Parramatta side back in the grand final in '84.
Yes, I remember it well, Greg. Unfortunately, a very sad day for us at Parramatta, but we were looking to make it 4 grand finals in a row. We were beaten by a better side and coached by Warren Ryan, who has had an outstanding career as a coach. As we see here, 404 games, and that's not a bad effort considering he missed a couple of seasons when he was just working with the media. So outstanding success rate, 56%. Always seems to get his sides into the finals. 2 premierships there, runner-up 4 times. It's not a bad effort. And of course, 1991 was the Coach of the Year. I guess he would be hoping to celebrate his milestone today with a victory over the Broncos by the Newcastle Knights.
Well, they had the experience on board. The big crowd here will be hoping that they also have the spirit to go on with the job. It is the Knights taking on the Broncos live from Marathon. Very good crowd here at Marathon. There's been a lot of off-field drama, but if you think that that's causing a huge rift in the club, well, looking at the crowd figures today, you wouldn't think so. They've voted with their feet here, the Knights fans. A few loyal Brisbane fans making the journey as well. Bit of breeze out there. Nice and warm in the dressing room for the time being, and I guess Wayne Bennett in the middle will be making himself known to some of these players. A new look Brisbane Broncos side calling on the youth. The Newcastle Knights, while they're missing some of their origin stars, Andrew Johns, Adam McDougall, Matthew Gidley and Ben Kennedy, and Darren Albert has been ruled out with a foot injury, but the pack is pretty much intact. The Broncos being led out by number 7 and captain Kevin Walters, missing 14 players for injury and origin duty, coming off a good win over the Sharks, 32-4 last week. They have the best defence in the NRL and will need to call on their youngsters to carry on with it today. Here is the lineup: Hodges, Warwick, Bampton, De Vere, Walker, Berrigan, Walters. Up front, it's Howard, Priddis, Myers, Harrison, Keating and Campion. The coach is Wayne Bennett. Michael De Vere, well, he's still only a young man, but he has real veteran status about him out there today. He's the leading point scorer for the Broncos this year with 7 tries and 22 goals. Wearing the number 4 on his back, look for him to try and make an impact in the centres. Michael De Vere. A roar for the home side. The Newcastle Knights, led out by Tony Butterfield. Last week's 18-point win over the Warriors made it 3 on the trot. They've won 6 from 8 here at Marathon. They've won 3 of their last 4 against Brisbane at this ground. They've played 17. They've won 9, 1 draw and 2 losses. So Ryder comes in the number 18 to replace the injured Darren Albert. Tamana Tahu in the number 3 jersey is the season's leading try scorer, with Shannon Hegarty from the Roosters. The captain is Butterfield, and David Fairley. Geez, had a great year for the Knights. He's their go-forward man, 142 metres per game, ahead of Butterfield, O'Brien, McDougall and Parsons. Matty Johns, it's all smiles there. Can they give him a good send-off with a title in the year 2000? The referee is Sean Hempstead.
All right, fellas, stay in the kick while he kicks it.
The referee, video referee, is Ian Parnaby, and we are underway. Round 18 action. A wobbly bounce there for the Broncos earlier on. 15 metres out from their own line, and I guess, Wally Lewis, it's just so important for some of these young guys just to hold their composure early on and just ease themselves into the game.
Yeah, they need a little bit of reassurance, but I'm sure that their coach, Wayne Bennett, would have reminded them that they've been working all their careers so far in the junior grades to be able to get to this level. They've got the chance now. They've got to make sure that they go out there, just work their way into the game. I think is very important while they're using it in attack. In defence, well, they've got to give that 100%.
One of the more experienced players here, Harvey Howard. He's played a test match for Great Britain. Back it goes to Berrigan, so they get the first set of 6 away. And the number 1 for the Knights is Daniel Abraham. Normally a match worth top billing, but of course with so many players unavailable through injury and origin duty, it's been robbed of some of the star attractions. But a great opportunity for some of the youngsters to make their mark. Butterfield now. He's about 18 metres from halfway. Still some metres from dummy half there. That's Danny Badiris up towards halfway. Just a bit of a mix-up there. And he's got them for a knock-on there as well. It went forward, in fact. It was called forward, so that's a rare mistake at the ruck by the Knights.
Coming from the touch, Judge. Well, probably did go a little bit forward. There was some question over whether the Brisbane defence got up a little bit too quickly. Presents Brisbane now with their first attacking chance of the match, 45 metres out. The injection of Walters has got to be the big thing for Brisbane to go forward.
Here's De Vere taking them on, and that's the 40. Moving into dummy half now is Adam Warwick in the 18 on debut. Kevin Walters gives it to the big red-headed front rower, Brad Myers. Now, there was a high shot there that was spotted by Hempstead, the referee.
Hey, come on, settle in. Right, it's going, you're on high. We'll put on report. Right, it's going to report.
Well, there's one player on report. It's number 10, Clinton O'Brien.
Certainly didn't miss him.
Brad Myers, a junior kangaroo last year. Welcome to Marathon, Bradley. But a great attacking opportunity here for the Broncos. Luke Prittis on the 20. Gives it back to Damon Keating. Another one on debut. In fact, he's the oldest Broncos debutant in the history of the club. 25 years and 306 days. Right in front of the uprights. 13 or 14 metres out. Prittis at dummy half gives it to Kevin Walters. Through the hands it goes. Harrison. And he's going to play it 10 metres out. Harvey Howard takes them on. Big defence there from the Knights. They force him to ground as Prittis waits for it at dummy half. Kevin Walters, wide they go. The cutout pass. Berrigan got away from one. And he unloads to De Vere, and out it goes to Walker. Walker slams it down in the corner. Did he get it down? The touch judge was right there.
I think he lost it.
Yeah, they think he's lost it.
Pretty sure he's lost it.
They're going to go to the video referee just to have a look at this one. Perfect opportunity for the Broncos to score the opening try.
He's lost the ball. Oh, geez, there's a fingernail in it.
Blame a house on it.
Yeah, he's got rid of that one. Even the Broncos players have filed their way back to the 30-metre line. A great chance offered. Clever pass from Sean Berrigan, holding up the Knights' defence, but no celebrations for the Broncos. Early in the match, it'll be a relieved bunch.
Well, half a chance there, but it was desperate defence by the cover defenders from the Newcastle Knights that came across and put the extra pressure on Walker. Possibly went a bit too early with the placement of the ball. Now it's O'Brien. 25 metres out from the line. Butterfield, the captain. When you look at these two forward packs, the starting packs, the Knights have about 748 first-grade appearances behind them. The Broncos 316. But they're a spirited lot, the Broncos. We've heard so much about their development, their talent spotting. Would be a lot wiser after 80 minutes of football here at Marathon, just to see if they can step up here today. O'Brien keeping it alive, getting it back to Simpson. 8 metres inside Brisbane territory. Final tackle coming up, and it goes to Justin Holbrook. He's in for Andrew Johns. The chase is on over there. A wicked bounce, and it's been knocked on by the Broncos. Well, it was a hopeless bounce in the end, and really Adam Warwick couldn't do much about that one. Warwick on debut in the number 18 jersey. Hodges misread it. Holbrook. Now it's the Knights' opportunity to really apply some pressure. Out the back door it goes. Peden gives it out now to Fairley. Fairley trying to bounce out of the tackle. That's the 20. Medeiros waiting for it at dummy half. Gives it to O'Brien. Shows it on the inside. Then is forced to take the tackle. Right in front of the uprights. Options either side. Medeiros is going to go to the right. Matthew Johns cut out pass out to Damata Tahu. And he's pulled down only about 2 metres out from the line. Medeiros. Across it goes to Butterfield. He steps. And they wrap him up, ball and all. Final tackle coming up now. Matthew Johns moving into first receiver, looking for the kick, or through the hands it goes, in fact. Holbrook out wide. Hughes, he got it across over there to Lenny Beckett, and some desperate defence forces them to play the ball on the 6th tackle, so there's the changeover.
Well, I thought that was a certain try for the Knights there. You've got to pay a lot of credit to the Broncos defence that completely read that perfectly. The slide defence worked very well. Hodges right at the end, the assistance that he was given by Bampton in the end really snuffed out what looked like a certain 4-pointer.
Wise to play it. Walters through the hands. De Villa. He'll play it 22 metres out. This is Harrison, another one of the junior Kangaroos from last year. Only his 11th first-grade appearance. Berrigan. Play down and back play for the Broncos as well. The play goes on now deep inside the Knights' territory. Abraham. The chase is a good one. Michael Hancock, the veteran of the side, 264 appearances going into it today. Starting on the bench, but not required because Danny Bampton, who received some treatment in back play, is okay. So the scrum will pack down 35 metres out from the Knights line. 4 errors in the match so far.
Let him pack. I'll have a look.
See the grass there at Marathon and that area of the field. It's
let him in, go in, Luke.
Very patchy indeed, the surface.
Looks like they've got half a dozen cricket pitches out there.
Berrigan, and now it goes across to Bampton, and Bampton taking them on almost through. In the end, Beckett just manages to hold on. 0-0 the score. The Broncos, if they're lacking in experience, they're certainly making up for in spirit at the moment. There's Damon Keating. 8 metres out from the line. Prittis, Walters, wide they go again to Bampton, and Bampton getting very close. Bampton, Danny Bampton, did he get it down for the first try of the match? Hampstead goes across. He wants to have a look at it again with a bit of help from the video referee, Ian Parnaby.
Oh, well, pretty good work from Brisbane. What they've managed to do so far is stretch the defence side to side. It's made it a little bit difficult for Newcastle, who are employing the slide defence. The question is going to be on whether there was a second movement made, and also, was there any problem with the ball being grounded over the line? Did he lose control, coming down just short? And I think you'd have to say that he's easily slidden across the ground there. The second replay showing that there wasn't too much of a problem. Brett, I think you've got to make sure that before you go into slide defence, you've got to make sure that you cover the ground that you've got behind you.
Yeah, that's right. These guys were caught out, and they really had to come up. And I tell you, you've got to give Bampton a lot of credit. He's able to get outside his man. He's done it on 2 occasions, and they come up with a try. But as you see here, well, I don't know what he's ruled there. He's ruled a knock on it.
Yeah, I think they've been very hard done by there, the Knights, but Brisbane shifting the ball, it's caught them on a couple of occasions already. You don't see that happen too many times in football. Mark Hughes going in and simply jersey grabbing when he goes in. The quick shift from Walters, the face pass is really catching the Newcastle defenders in a little bit of a problem. Winger also being forced to come in, left on his own. Brisbane, well, they're probably saying there, Greg, that they know that they've got a little bit of a deficiency in the size up the middle. Let's take them on out wide.
Paying off so far. A couple of telling runs from Bampton. Looking to add the extras now is Michael De Vere. It's away to the left. 4 points to nil, 9th minute. It is Brisbane over Newcastle. So a promising start for the youngsters from Brisbane. And Keating will play it. Now it's Myers. Big lump of a lad, isn't he? Big raps on him. Brad Myers. Through the hands again, Wally. Yes, then really trying to spread it wide. They don't want to take on this big physical Newcastle Knights pack up the middle. Justin Hodges. 10 from halfway. Luke Prittis at dummy half. Started every game this year for the Broncos, Prittis. That's a good kick over the head of Abraham. He picks it up in his own in goal area. The chase is a good one as well by the Broncos. Campion was there. Michael Hancock on there in 2 as well.
Too early, fellas. Like you never square, mate. You went too early. Never square.
A little keen on that occasion, the Broncos, so they were caught inside. They weren't square at the markers either. Butterfield. Just a metre or 2 inside his own territory. O'Brien taken by Myers and also Campion. Fairley. Oh, got rid of one. Great run, Fairley. 35 metres out from the line. Matthew Johns to Billy Peden standing wide. Taken by Kevin Walters, and also Prittis is in there, along with Harrison. See you later. Now the Knights try and put it through the hands out wide. Went behind a couple of them, cleaned up by Lenny Beckett. There's the kick from Johns, but not a good one. Right down the throat of Adam Warwick.
Replacement players for the Broncos in 12.
Hodges.
Webb.
Now Myers.
Shane Walker.
Prittis waits for it. Walters looking for runners. Cut out pass to De Vere. Back on the inside, and Walker couldn't hold on, so it could be a costly turnover here, giving the Knights very good field position. They're on the 40. 15 is on there. That's Josh Perry. Brisbane lead 4-0. Another one of the benchmen, Paul Rauhahi, former Auckland Warrior. Badiris. Johns under the support. Holbrook plays it. Now Matthew Johns again running to the line and getting it out now to Hughes. Hughes to Beckett. Beckett for the corner. And Lenny Beckett's going to score the try for the Newcastle Knights. It's all locked up at 4-all.
Well, mistakes in rugby league games often become very expensive. Beckett has done very well. The mistake from Brisbane is what presented the opportunity. It's been very expensive as well, because Chris Walker looks like he suffered a rib injury, possibly a rib cartilage injury, but it gave the Knights an opportunity to be able to level the scores at least. A quick shift. We've seen that employed by both teams so far. The opportunity to be able to get out wide. Beckett's experience, a little bit too good for Hodges.
Well, for the first time in the game, we've actually seen Matthew Johns do it running to the line. He ran it twice in that set of 6. Of course, the second time, through the cut-out pass. Lenny Beckett did very well with a little in and away. Was able to get outside of Justin Hodges and went into a very good try for the Knights.
And the man himself is number 16, Troy Fletcher.
For Holbrook, getting some big shoes today. In for Andrew Johns. Just inside that far touch line. You can't add the extras. It's waved away. So it's 4-all. Newcastle and Brisbane, 14th minute.
Beckett really was able to dictate terms once he got hold of the ball.
Perry returning the football. Almost went straight through Shane Walker.
Planted the ball. You planted the ball. You planted the ball. You can't plant it. Take the game out of my hands. Planted the ball.
Well, a penalty. Incorrect play the ball.
Well, as long as this remains consistent throughout the game, I don't think too many people have got a problem. Brisbane were very lucky not to be penalised for having players stuck all over the top, and I reckon he's made contact with that football. Whether or not the ball was actually on the ground before he got to his feet was a little bit hard to judge by that angle, but gee, I can tell you what, you can understand why the Knights supporters are a little bit angry.
Well, I think that was a ruling. I think the referee has actually ruled that he planted the ball, and I've got to say, I thought he was actually up on his feet, and he's planted the ball to roll it with his foot. I don't think he forced himself up on the ball.
Well, we'll have another look at it here.
So he's up there. I can't understand how he said he's actually planted the ball.
It's a tough call.
Well, they're going to try and add the extra 2 here now with the first penalty goal attempt of the match. Kerrod, well, for a moment, it might be ready to make his impression on the game. De Vere. And he's hooked it around between the uprights. Bit of a milestone now for Michael De Vere. That's his 200th point in first grade. 6-4.
He's done very well for a guy that basically adapted himself to the goal-kicking role. He joined the Broncos. It was a skill that he admitted himself probably wasn't the strongest part of his game. Done very well because there is quite a tricky breeze blowing here at Marathon this afternoon. Brisbane, in returning the ball up, Webb hits it up.
Good strong return of the football by the youngster Carl Webb, only his 5th first grade appearance. So many of these Broncos have only played a handful of matches in first grade. The Broncos are on top of the table. They played 17 matches coming into this one at Marathon. They won 11. They've had 2 draws and they've lost 4. Because away from home, they started with a real flourish, winning 4 and drawing 1 of their first 5, but they've lost their last 4 on the road to sides like Canberra, the Northern Eagles, Penrith, the Storm. They're inside the Knights' territory in Harrison. Can't find any holes around the ruck. A little bit of variation, the kick and chase from Walters. The bounce is there in the end for Daniel Abraham.
Oh, he's dropped it.
You come over the top, Kevin. Come over the top. Second tackle. Come over the top. Come over the top.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's come up with a couple of strange calls, a referee. There is nothing wrong with coming up over the top in defence. Surely if a player's carrying the football, probably some good tactics there from Walters to try and come up with a variation in play. He's come over the top. Well, anyway, I suppose they get paid for something.
Is he saying he came over the top and actually was the second man in the tackle and knocked the ball down? That's anything I can think of. Anyway, it's the Knights. Wally's gone for the rule book. Rahahi. Oh, big charge there from Rahahi. He's left a man in his wake, and the referee has signalled time off. He hasn't moved, has he?
He was in strife right from the first time contact was made. Not sure whether it was Ashley Harrison, the man that went into it, but he disappeared backwards pretty quickly. Yeah, Harrison's the man. He was snoring on his way to the turf, and the contact with the ground at the back just got his head in the way, and whack, down goes the head. We'll be seeing plenty of stars, although we've got about 3 hours sunlight left here at Marathon.
Well, that's a real shame because he's started the match in fine form, young Ashley Harrison. Just got the head in the wrong spot there. Slowly but surely to his feet.
Well, 5 tackles today, Greg. I think he'll always remember that last one.
Or will he? So Harrison heading for a bit of treatment on the sideline. Araha, he will play it 35 metres out. And Johns. Holbrook running to the line, stabbing the grubber kick through. Oh, and it's been left behind momentarily. Back there by Warwick.
Greg, I've got to say that was a very poor option, I believe, from Newcastle on that occasion. The crowd are booing, but gee, turn it up. That ball's gone half a metre backwards. But they had 3 players unmarked outside. Pretty good work, I think, from Justin Hodges at the back on the wing, actually. He hung himself back around about 7 or 8 metres in behind the line. Well, that ball's gone backwards if it hasn't. And they're still disagreeing. They boo Santa Claus here to use an old Jack Gibson one.
9 metres from halfway. The Broncos. They lead by 6 points to 4. This time it's Kevin Walters. The clearing kick. And back there is Daniel Abraham. Good chase by the Broncos. Beckett, the try scorer. Can't get away from Campion. Wearing the number 13 jersey. He's the leading tackler for the Broncos. Keep an eye on him. Gee, he gets through some work on defence. Kevin Campion.
Lost it.
Oh, this one could be costly for the Knights this time. Just knocked it forward in the play of the ball.
I think it's an indication of just how both teams are endeavouring to play the game at great speed. Whether there was a hand in there, any damage done by Carl Webb or not. Both teams have got to remember that they must control the football, especially in their own half of the field.
Well, now it's Walker. The tackle had to be made by Justin Ryder. He was able to hold on. Harvey Howard taking them on about 5 metres out from the line. Critters got the pass, and he's going to go across untouched. The captain, Kevin Walters. Well, they've made the Knights pay very heavily for that lost ball. 10 points to 4. Brisbane over Newcastle. 2 tries to 1 now.
Well, one of the most underestimated players in the competition, Luke Priddis, got in at dummy half. He spotted a bit of a gap. He knew exactly who he wanted to aim himself at. He went right outside Perry. Johns was left trying to work out exactly what went wrong.
It was smart play by Priddis, as you pointed out, Wally. He knew where he wanted to run. He was able to drag Perry in. He only had to move half a metre. Walters was straight through the gap.
And once again, of course, we've seen a try come about. Brisbane, on that occasion, managing to get the 4-pointer, but it came about. Well, Wayne Bennett is probably a little bit disappointed. I don't understand why. Points coming via a mistake by the opposition.
Devere. He adds the extras from right in front, so it's 12 points to 4. It is Brisbane over Newcastle.
As we mentioned, smart work from Priddis from dummy half. Dragged Perry in. And of course, Walters had a yawning gap to run through. But Greg, I've got to say, one of the big difference between the two sides is the kicking game. We saw Matthew Johns put up a high ball early on. They got a good result out of it. They forced Brisbane to make a mistake, but since then, their kicking game has been very ordinary.
Hodges. Will be forced to play it. And welcome back, Kerrod Walters. Kerrod's on there from the bench in the number 20 jersey.
Interesting to see if we see any of those trademark runs with the head back.
Of course, he may get the opportunity to do that. Newcastle now know that Brisbane are intent on playing the game wide. If their defence starts to spread too quickly, Walters could punish them up the middle.
Shane Walker. He'll play it on the 30. It's Kerrod handing it off to his brother Kevin. And waited a long time for that this year. But now they've coughed it up. But they got it back somehow. It looked like Newcastle had claimed that ball. Kerrod Walters giving it out to Bampton. Berrigan with the kick. Perfect bounce to Abraham. And again, the chase is good from Brisbane. Damon Keating, the first one there. Butterfield. Taken by Kerrod Walters.
Come on, keep playing, fellas.
Over the top, it was Kevin Campion. O'Brien. The Knights forwards, just trying to muscle up around the ruck. Fairley. And a little wider this time. Pops it out the back door to his captain, Butterfield. He offloads across to the number 17 and Rudder. That's the halfway mark. Eden will play it. Matthew Johns. Taken by Howard. And Walker. There's the kick. They allow it to bounce. And Warwick makes it back to the 20. Good pick up on the run there. The Broncos outside their 30 after a couple of tackles. Brisbane over the Knights. Campion turned in the tackle, tried to offload. They wrapped him up though. Walters. The inside pass, Kevin Walters. It was forward though.
No doubt about that ball back inside. Kevin Walters almost lucky not to be penalised for being offside at that stage. Brisbane have made a couple of errors in getting out of their own territory. They believe that they can spot holes in the Knights' defence. I think they've got to try and make sure that they get out of the danger zone before they start worrying about attacking.
Tahu, well marked so far in the match. 12 tries for the season. Tamana Tahu. Billy Pete. Brother. There's a penalty to the Newcastle Knights, and this is going to give them great field position. An opportunity for them to hit back here.
Just let me refer, mate. The penalty will come if you just forget and play the ball. Don't try and plan it. Yep.
You can see here that just too long, and I think it was Kerrod Walters' hand on the back of the jumper, pulling him down.
Butterfield. 3 of them are there to meet him. Well, I know that Tony Butterfield will be very disappointed with that. The first tackle, and he's lost it cold.
Yeah, I think even the staunchest Knights supporter would admit that he's done that. I've got to say that one of the Broncos players was laying in the middle. The Wok not too happy about what he's seen from his skipper on that occasion. They haven't been down the centre of the field too much. When they do, they're turning over possession.
Michael DeVere plays it back to Kevin Walters. It's parked outside their 20 at the moment, the Broncos. Here's Kerrod Walters. Got the pass away. Out to Bampton. Hodges. Gives it to Webb. Kerrod Walters. Nowhere to go. Walker. Shane Walker. 10 from halfway. Final tackle coming up. Kevin Walters. Short kick this time. The bounce is there for Abrahams again. But he's lost it and Brisbane come up with it. So again, Kevin Walters trying a little bit of variation with the short kick and chase. And it's paid off. Now it's Michael Hancock on the 20. Most times they've been down here, they've really got a stack of pressure on the Knights, and they've come up with a couple of tries. Berrigan out the back door. The wobbly pass from dummy half from Kerrod Walters, but the bounce was okay in the end for Campion. In front of the uprights. They work it to the right. Kevin Walters dummying, looked on the inside. He needed support. It arrived too late. He'll play it a couple of metres out. Critters. They were right up in his face. Final tackle coming up now. Walters, wide they go. Great pick up on the run.
Change them, Phil.
But the defence held on.
Oh, great pick up in the run as it was, but if he hadn't have tripped over, you could have marked down another 4 points to Brisbane. Hancock struggling a little bit after it. Great pass from Walters. Completely got the Newcastle defence out of alignment. Tahu fairly happy there that his opponent lost footing.
Holding the ear, so Michael hasn't been enjoying his health so far this season, having problems with fitness. He goes to the sideline, and now it is the Knights through Hughes, and he's going to be dragged over the white line, over on the far side by Hodges.
He did very well, Hodges, in defence then. He actually came up. You see, he actually came up and in, and then let the ball go past and just trailed on the outside. And I guess that's the wonders of having a lot of pace.
Andrew Johns, Gidley and Kennedy, some of the Newcastle Knights origin stars. And the crowd here supporting their teammates. De Villa. Penalty.
Matty John.
So Matthew Johns for having a hand in the play the ball.
Stab on the kicker, Phil. Stab on the kicker.
Berrigan finds touch, and this is the broadcast side at Marathon. Three apiece, the penalties. Look at that, Brisbane enjoying 60% of the possession so far. Walker, the inside pass to Webb. Walters, Berrigan, young playmaker in the number 6 jersey. Walters and Walker, De Villa through the hands. This is Chris Walker. Oh, great try, Chris Walker. He stood them up and they fell for it. The in and away worked perfectly. Chris Walker, a great try to the Broncos.
Well, plenty of skill involved in that. Again, Brisbane getting on the outside of the Knights' defence. Quick transition to the left, and we've seen plenty of it. Here's the penalty that went. That could have gone either way too, I thought. And they shifted it to the left-hand side. They did fairly well. De Villa making sure, but there's more steps in the City Hall to get on the outside of Ryder. Billy Peden, well, he was left just diving at the ground in disbelief and despair, I suppose.
This was great work by Walker, and I think, look, there's big Harvey Howard on the outside. I think he may have put the winger in 2 minds. It's certainly great. I didn't realise Chris Walker was as quick as he was. That was unbelievable, that in and away.
Well, one today, a couple this year. But I've got to say that that's only because he's played the vast majority of his games in the Queensland Cup. Around about 6 weeks ago, he scored 7 tries for Toowoomba, which is the Broncos' feeder club. Well, the state league competition.
It looked like it was going to be a simple catch and pass, and Newcastle were going to mark up, but the in and away, the change of pace,
and
was
Harvey
amazing.
Howard.
From out wide, he needs it to curl round. It's coming round, but not in time. 16 points to 4. The Brisbane Broncos over the Newcastle Knights.
Has come directly from a mistake from the opposition, and it's been punished heavily.
These two sides met back in round 5 at ANZ Stadium in Brisbane, and on that occasion the Broncos won 20 points to 14. Both were at full strength on that occasion. Today these young Broncos are galloping at the moment. They're 10 from halfway. Again, the short kick and the chase from the Broncos. Abraham, they're working him over at the back, aren't they?
They're putting him under a lot of pressure. It wouldn't surprise me now to see that Walters may possibly start to put the longer kicks in now. They've dragged the fullback up and they've brought the wingers in close behind the line, so now there's plenty of room out the back.
Justin Ryder to play it. O'Brien. Bailey. Again, he gets rid of one would-be tackler. Matthew Johns putting it in behind Hodges. He's got the pace to get back and clean it up, though. Just in time. Lenny Becker was right on top of him. They've got some work to do here. Deep inside their own territory, the Broncos. Some big defence there from Badiris, and also coming in was Simpson. Bampton scored the first try. Devere. Matthew Johns just felt his leg there after he kicked a grubber kick, and now Matthew Johns is being helped to the sideline, heading towards the bench. Well, on that occasion there was real pressure on Brisbane. In the end, the number 8 Harvey Howard got the kick away. Daniel Abraham brings it back, so good field position to start the set of 6 for the Knights. And Matthew Johns limping into the dressing room, and that's not a great sight for the Newcastle Knights. They're down by 12 at the moment, 16-4, the Broncos leading. Perry left to offload. In the end, took the tackle. Now it's Rudder running to the line. Holbrook stepping. Broncos under a bit of pressure here on defence. Rudder, cut out pass. Perry out the back door. Fairley over the top. Tahu. Maybe the wrong option on that occasion. He had a man on the outside, and Ryder. Final tackle. Holbrook. Rudder. And it's going to beat everybody over the dead ball line. So we'll come back to the 24 restart. So I think the Broncos can breathe a sigh of relief there.
A big sigh of relief, Greg, and you called it. That was an absolute try bombed. They had a man unmarked on the outside. Justin Ryder, the man that was basically waiting for the ball. A very poor option on the last tackle, or rather the kick wasn't presented the way that it should have been, letting Brisbane out of jail.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. It's all the Broncos at the moment, 3 tries to 1, and they're inside the Knights' territory again. Matthew Johns off the field for the Knights. Keating will play it. Berrigan. Time he goes to the air. There's plenty of air, in fact, but it was too deep. No real pressure on Abraham, fullback for the Knights. Beckett. Taken by Critis. Now it's Ryder. Rudder. Rahahi. To the short side, they continue to work. And Beckett kicking back on the inside for the chasers. Kevin Walters can't control it. Now he picks it up. And it was knocked back first of all from Kevy, so it's play on. The word from the dressing room is that Matthew Johns won't be back for the remainder of this match. He's done his calf muscle, the right calf muscle.
Well, as terrible as that is to the Knights, it may even inspire them to a little bit better, I think. They know that the rest of the players have got to put their hands up now. They're without the best 2 playmakers that they have in the club, in the Johns brothers.
Devere. Woody spotted a gap around the ruck. Great break, Kevin Walters. Players unmarked on the outside, and this is going to be a great try to Harrison. Well, he was knocked out not so long ago. Went to the sideline. They worked on him, came back, and what wonderful support play. 38th minute, 20 points to 4. But what about the break from Kevin Walters?
Yeah, great support play. Kevy Hancock taking it to the line. Some pretty ordinary defence. Simpson was one of the men that really fell off. Well, whatever Harrison, smelling salts, borrow lemon, sell them at twice the price. It's worked very well. He certainly hasn't forgotten that support play.
He certainly hasn't. We saw this earlier on where Walters has been turning the ball back on the inside. This time, through the dummy, went straight through the gap and well backed up by Harrison. Whatever they did give him when he came off certainly has worked.
We were only talking about it in the game, lead up to the game, Greg, weren't we, about when Kevin Walters runs with the football. They had a problem halfway through the season, or halfway through their campaign towards State of Origin. It came in, Walters went to halfback. Some questioned the move, but really they have moved on to the front foot and won some games, although this one certainly hasn't been won yet, that they weren't expected to win. A lot of the time it was because Walters got them into a good field position because of his running with the ball.
De Vere right in front. The flags are up, 22 points to 4. The Broncos over the Newcastle Knights. The Malore supporters have had plenty to cheer about in the first half. 4 tries to 1. Another look at it here. Simple dummy. Put the foot on the gas, and that's great support play from the youngster Ashley Harrison.
I think you find, Greg, too, both the Newcastle forwards overread the play there. They were looking for the ball to come back inside, and as we saw, Walters just held the ball, went straight through.
Damon Keating had been enjoying that. He usually captains the Toowoomba Clydesdales in the Queensland State League. He'd be right at home out there because many of his Clydesdales teammates are with him. And here's another great break from Walker. He scored 1 try. He's got some pace. Fullback to beat the in and away this time. Abraham holds on. That's another great break, though, by Chris Walker. And the Broncos, maybe they can sniff out another try before the break. Priddis got the ball back to Warwick, up from fullback. Kevin Walters waits for the dummy half. They keep working over to that far side, and this is Berrigan. And a dangerous time for the Knights. They have to hold on for another couple of tackles before the half-time break. And then moving the ball, this is Harrison. He looked on the outside. Now he gets it back to Campion. They keep it alive. It's been picked up by Webb. Webb got rid of one. Webb, he's going for the corner. Back on the inside, it's Walker. He fires it back to Vere. It's still there. Who wants it? And it's been cleaned up in the end by the Newcastle Knights. Oh, they're looking good. The Brisbane Broncos with ball in hand, charging their arm, and it's coming off for them so far. And at half-time, the Brisbane Broncos lead the Newcastle Knights by 22 points to 4. It is 4 tries to 1. They scored first, and then the Knights locked it up. And since then, it's been one-way traffic.
Of possession, so you can understand why there were so many metres gained.
So the Knights with a lot of work to do here. Can this young Brisbane side hold on? 22 points to 4. Win, lose or draw, the Broncos still going to be on top of the NRL table come the end of the representative season. They'll be delighted with that, but more so they'll be even more delighted with the fact that some of the youngsters have been able to step up to the mark today. Still a long way to go, though. That's the halfway mark now for Butterfield, for the Knights. Let's have a look at the back line position when we see the Knights on attack again, because there's no Matthew Johns out there. That ball is knocked back. He's had a couple of close calls today, and he just manages to stay in the field of play, young Adam Warwick on debut. This is Hodges.
He did very well to be able to get out of his field of play. But this is one area of the game that Brisbane haven't been able to match Newcastle. That's the third tackle. They're 12 metres out from their line.
This is Myers. Straight ahead. They force him to play it right on the 20-metre mark. Critis at dummy half. Gives it to Harvey Howard. Runs into his opposite number, Butterfield, and David Fairley in there as well. Left-footed kick coming in. Taken by Abraham. Ryder, up over halfway he goes. O'Brien on report for a high shot early on in the first half. Simpson. They work to the right through the 17 Rudder. They've left it behind. Lack of communication there, but Rudder gets it back to Ryder. Mossfield he goes, and now he tries to straighten it up. Not making too much progress. Now Holbrook The kick into the in goal, and they're not going to be able to get out there this time. The Holbrook with the kick. The chase was okay. They'll get another crack at it here, the Knights.
They structured their attack very well. Probably something that they wish they employed a little bit more successfully in the first 40-minute period. Back-to-back sets. It's going to take a little bit away from Brisbane. The Broncos probably a younger and a little bit more fitter side. But just how long they can sustain the pressure of a big set of Newcastle Knights forwards running at them is to be seen.
35-metre dropout, and Peden runs it back at them. A good strong run too, up to the 20. Medeiros gives it to Butterfield, taken by Walters underneath. Over the top it was Harrison. Rudder handing it off. O'Brien got it back to Rudder, and now Holbrook back on the inside. Simpson, he's going to be held up and forced to play the ball about 1 metre out from the line. Medeiros across to Holbrook. Holbrook got the pass away. That's exactly how they wanted to start the second half. They're going to go to the video referee, though, to see if it was legal.
Well, it looked like the referee at one stage, Brett. I think we both looked at each other. He went to blow his whistle for a forward pass and had his hand up, but decided that the man with the tape will decide it for him. Clever ball to be able to get round the back. And, well, it's a very flat patch. He's thrown it from about 3 metres out from the line. He's caught it half a metre, but whether it's deemed to have gone backwards and then floated forward, I wouldn't think so.
I find it very hard to believe the referee has actually gone to the video referee because of the position the referee was in. He actually looked as if he was directly in line with that play. You didn't see it on the screen there, but he looked like he was directly in line with it. And as Wally mentioned, we both thought he was going to rule forward, and then he's gone to the video referee. I always find it difficult for a video referee to be able to give a ruling on that. I just don't think that they should be allowed to do it.
And again,
you can lay your house
some commentators have been after last night. I'm not saying too much, but turn it up. I wouldn't imagine anything would come of that. But stranger decisions have happened.
Decision time. It's a try. The try has been given. Daniel Abraham will be credited with 4 points. The video referee saying it was okay.
Well, I think the best thing you can say there is rocket them in. The Broncos disappointed. I think they're disappointed in disbelief. Clever work. Have a look how far he is out from the try line there when he throws it. About 5 metres. The man that catches it falls over the line. Well, if it's flat, it's very, 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 very flat. Still, I think you've got to say that Newcastle had 1 or 2 decisions that went against them in the first half. Perhaps that's squared the issue.
Holbrook now. Just to the side of the uprights. The flags go up. They narrowed the gap. It's now 22 points to 10. Controversial try, but it's on the score sheet. Something for them to cheer about.
Happy for them to cheer about, Greg, but I tell you, the Newcastle Knights players were standing 20 metres out from the try line waiting for the decision, so I don't think they were confident of the try being awarded, but still, it's been awarded, play on, and they've now got 10 points.
They're on their 20. O'Brien keeping it alive. Good work. Try scorer, Abraham.
Bert, slip in and see if George Spate's in the next room, will you?
Billy Peden up over halfway. All of a sudden, more urgency in the Newcastle Knights attack. This is Simpson. Makes it to the 40. Medeiros waits for it at dummy half. Holbrook and Rudder. So it would appear that Holbrook and Rudder are rotating now, halfback and 5'8", with no Matthew Johns out there. There's the kick. And Hodges picks it up. Not too far out from his own in goal. Chase was a good one. Hughes got there first. Warwick. Bampton. Good shoulder charge there coming in from Heaton that looked to collect. Harvey Howard, a little bit of go forward. Harrison got a good try in the first half and he's lost it.
He's taken another big whack again.
He's lost it. Cole, the youngster.
What then? No, it'll be one to him backwards. No, it's your ball.
Gee, he looks in a distressed state again. Coach, a bit concerned about Harrison.
I think what he might be suggesting, that is offside of relay to the runner, is that they don't need to take on Newcastle up the middle. They didn't try and do it in the first half, and they were quite successful in their tactics. Why try and smash your way through a bigger pack when you're quite successful at getting around them?
Worked in the first half. So Harrison is off, and Webb goes on for the Broncos. But this is great field position again for the Newcastle Knights. Holbrook, Abraham, he's coughed it up. Relief for the Broncos. And so they'll start this set about 22 metres out from their own line. The fresh man on there, Carl Webb. Driven back in the tackle. Michael Hancock. Got a good ball back to Critis, and now Campion. Back to Kevin Walters. And Kevin puts a foot on the gas. Looked on the inside, just couldn't link up with the support player. Big line-up out to the right. Warwick up from fullback. He was taken ball and all. Critis and Berrigan. A grubber kick. Abraham is back there. He picks it up 5 metres out from his own line. And now it's the Knights with a bit of work to do to work it out of their red zone. Hughes. Justin Ryder at dummy half, and now Fairley. O'Brien. Work it to the short side. Hughes taken there by Berrigan. Holbrook. There's plenty of air. And Walker takes it well. Into the sun over there as well, I think. Kavir. Chased from behind and pulled down by Justin Ryder. Hodges. Named at fullback earlier in the week. He's got number 1 on his back and he pops the ball out the back door, but Hodges has played this match on the wing. Wide ball, almost intercepted there by Tamata Tahu. He kicks it away in disgust because he knows if he holds on, it's a certain 6 points.
Well, it looked like it had Gidley written all over it, an intercept like that. Gee, he timed his run very well too, Tahu. Unfortunate. Didn't manage to control the ball for his teammates.
Hey, nice. Here you go.
De Vere. This is Hodges. Jared Walters. Picks up 5 metres from dummy half. Michael Hancock. Campion. A lot of pressure on players like Campion, Kevin Walters, Michael Hancock. Jared Walters now just to steady the ship. Abraham taken there by Danny Bampton. Ernie Beckett scored a try in the first half. Rahahi picked up and dumped. Well, let's have a look at this and have a listen.
15.
Shane Walker.
You get hold of him too. Yeah, I know. You got him in the crutch, lift him above the horizontal, right? You both need to go on report, right? Both on report.
They're on report. Webb and Shane Walker.
It'll be very expensive for Brisbane if they lose any more players, but in particular, it's given the Knights a little bit of a head start. They're on their fourth tackle there. Now they're well into Brisbane's territory, just 30 metres out on their first.
Holbrook looking for a hole, almost finding one. The crowd starting to rise here as well, getting behind the Knights. Butterfield straight ahead. 8 metres out from the line. 22 points to 10. It's the Broncos in front. Runner! Peden will score the try. Billy Peden will run it around and put it down between the posts. So 4 points will become 6. And the Broncos, they gave away the penalty with that spear tackle that's on report. And they're back at it, the Knights. 22-14 with the kick to come.
Well, it has become expensive, hasn't it? Some clever shifting to the left-hand side. That seems to be the way both teams are preferring. Completely caught out on that occasion was Sean Berrigan. He was flat-footed when Peden hit the hole, tending to look more so at the ball carrier than the intended receiver, which gave him not much chance at all.
Yeah, it was a great angle run by Billy Peden to see him run back in. Got back on the inside of Sean Berrigan, and as Wally pointed out, he was caught watching the ball carrier, didn't see where the ball runner was going to.
Holbrook. There's the 2. So it's 22 points to 16. That's 12 unanswered points by the Knights in the second half. 53rd minute. Plenty of time remaining.
If you'd give the
chasers, plenty of them up there for the Knights, and they'll force him to play it. 12 metres out from their own line.
Well, this is where Brisbane have got to aim up. Newcastle just made 65 metres in that last set of 6. The last 2 or 3 times Brisbane had the football, they've struggled to make much more than 20.
There's another one of their players not feeling too well. To number 18, Adam Warwick. Big solid defence now from the Newcastle Knights. Walker. Michael Hancock. Wearing 2 on his back, but he's out there.
Well, the question's got to be asked, why are Brisbane trying to hit the ball up the middle? They're not successful. They smashed Newcastle to pieces in the first half because they decided.
Charge down, Holbrook. Was he taken out? The referee is going to call a halt to play.
Who was it, Phil?
I think a touch judge has got one of the Brisbane Broncos for tackling the man without the ball.
I got it too. I didn't know which guy it was. That's all I was asking, which fella it was. Which one was it, Kevin?
I think it was number 7, Kevin. He doesn't even know. I don't know. I didn't get a number. It happened pretty quick. I didn't get his number. But I'll tell you now, he was on the ground and he tackled the player while he was attempting to run for the ball.
All right. You can't help, man? Can't help? All right. We haven't got a number who it was. I saw it play taken. I didn't know which number it was. I was following the ball. The touch judge has got a 2. It's a penalty, right? Playing out.
How? Well, that amazes me. I'm probably going to be accused of being one-eyed here, Bert, but listen to what that touch judge just said when he said he didn't see who it was.
Well, how can the touch judge on the far side, who was about 70 metres away, come in and say he saw something, but I didn't see the number?
Numbers on the far side. Oh, that tackle had to be made. And it was a beauty by Chris Walker, but it's still the Knights getting very close. Desperate times now for the Broncos on defence. Through the hands it goes. David Fairley straight ahead. Fairley twisting, trying to get the pass away. He has to take the tackle. 22 points to 16. They charge at the line, the Knights. And the Broncos hold on. Still tackles remaining, though. Medeiros, wide they go. Plenty of numbers over there. They must score. Yes, Billy Peden is in. Billy Peden has got a double. So it's 22 points to 20. The Knights have well and truly hit back in the second half. Whatever was said at half-time, I'll tell you what, it's working for them. Three unanswered tries in the second half now. Here's the incident here that Wally and Brent were talking about. Holbrook. Now, was he tackled without the balls?
Well, unless it's... I'll tell you what, the officials can hang their head in shame at two of those decisions. Now, I got to agree that that's a great try. They shifted the ball to the left-hand side. The first one was a disgrace. To call that one on the charge down, a deliberate takeout when the blokes dive for the ball. That bloke wants to hang up his hat. Well, why wouldn't Kepi blow up? I tell you what, he shouldn't be getting up his players, though. He should be turning around and asking these blokes to turn in their jobs.
I still can't believe...
That is a disgrace.
I still can't believe how an official on the far side, 70 metres away, has to raise his hand to protect his eyes from the sun, can make a decision like that.
And the guy that was 12 metres away couldn't see it.
He couldn't see it. But then he made it worse for himself by saying, I couldn't pick the number. Isn't any wonder you can't pick a number? You're 70 metres away.
But we are playing at Newcastle, remember?
Here's the kick from Holbrook. 5 metres in from touch. This one to lock it up. The crowd will tell you. It's away.
Did the touch judge wave no goal there?
No. 22 points to 20. The Broncos over the Knights after they led 22 points to 4.
The thing about it, Greg, regardless of there's been a couple of really rough decisions go against the Broncos, but as well he pointed out earlier, they continually try and take the ball up the middle, when in the first half we saw the good results they got by throwing the ball wide. I know they've had to do a lot of defence, but still they've got to look at getting 2 or 3 passes wide when they start running the ball up.
It looked in the first half as if the big Newcastle pack were going to try and railroad the young Broncos. It didn't pay off. In the second half, though, it looks like they have got the opposition rattled, the Knights. Now they're 10 from halfway. Daniel Abraham to play it. David Fairley. Well, they had 2 players holding on to him. He still got the pass away. Now it's Badiris. That's the halfway. Holbrook. Let's play on. He kicked it into one of the Broncos players. Now final tackle coming up. 16 will get the kick away. Troy Fletcher. And they're going to watch it run into touch in goal. So we'll come back to the 24 restart. And the Broncos really need to just get a good solid set of 6 away here just to settle things down. Just under 22 minutes remaining, 2 points the difference.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that they try and dictate terms to Newcastle. They've been smashed about over the last 10 or 15 minutes in particular, but they don't seem to be coming up with things too adventurous in attack that are going to cause Newcastle's defensive line any distress.
Mr. Villa. Walker. Shane Walker. Still inside their own territory. Prittis. Gives it to Michael Hancock. Gets it back to Prittis. Up over halfway. Garrett Walters. Well, Harrison with the left-footed kick over the top there. It's a penalty. Well, they got away with it on that occasion. The Broncos. Kevin Walters talking to young Ashley Harrison saying that wasn't the kick we were looking for.
And I'll tell you what, Brisbane have done very well to end up with that penalty as well. They absolutely bombed it. Look, there's 4 attackers on 1 defender. Why would you come up with a left foot chip when you've got 20 metres space to work in and a 3-man overlap?
22 metres out from the line. This is Damon Keating for the Broncos. They're looking to hit back. Prittis to Myers, and Myers has left it behind.
1-0, hands off now.
The Knights have it. 12 out from their own line. Beckett. This is Ryder, the other winger. Steals another couple of metres. Did he play that correctly? The referee looked to be unsighted for a moment.
Touch judge didn't see it.
Butterfield got rid of one of the defenders. Fletcher. That's the halfway. Holbrook. Hodges calls for it, lets it bounce. Who wants it? The Knights pick it up. Abraham's for the line, and Abrahams is going to score a miracle try. A real mix-up at the back for the Broncos. They let it bounce. Hodges and Hancock undecided. The bounce was there, and Abraham scores the try. There in front.
And it all came because a Brisbane mistake at the other end of the football field gave Newcastle the chance to cane them. They did it perfectly. A great kick that was put up, and he's put up some huge bombs this afternoon, Holbrook. A lack of commitment by both Brisbane players. In the end, Hodges had no idea, but just have a look at the number of Newcastle players that are in shot that come into out wide. There was another 4 or 5, I can tell you, within range. They knew that they had a chance in this game to be able to drive a little bit of a nail in the coffin. They managed to do it.
So he's got a double, Daniel Abraham. What a second half performance by the Newcastle Knights, down by 18. Now they've scored 4 tries in the first 20 minutes of the second half. And Holbrook from right in front. He raises the flags. 26-22, 62nd minute. It's Newcastle in front for the first time in this match.
Very high ball, and as Wally pointed out, there was a number of Newcastle Knights players there waiting. As it was, Abraham was able to get the ball, put the Newcastle Knights back in front.
Well, poor possession. The handling that's gone on in this game, I think, would be of concern to both coaches. Butterfield, the skipper, taking the ball up straight into one of the Bronco defenders. Now, Brisbane with a chance. They've got the ball 20 metres out from the line.
Come on, Knights, let him in, Knights, let him in. Go in, Luke. Go in, Luke, go in. Let's get in. Let him in, get up, Knights, get up. Get up, bud. We'll just go down.
So 22 points scored by the Knights in the second half so far, but it's now the Broncos who are trying to hit back, and Michael De Vea straight ahead, 15 metres out from the line. Berrigan gives it to Myers. Myers out the back door. Critis. He'll play it back to Hodges, to Berrigan. Back to Hodges. Hodges will be held up about 5 metres out from the line. Critis. Kevin Walters dummying. They're up on him, shutting him down. Harvey Howard moves into dummy half, and he gives it to Harrison. And Harrison will play it. Final tackle. Walters nudging it in to the in-goal area, and Beckett's going to watch it run over the dead ball line. We'll come back to the 24, a restart. 16 minutes remaining, 26-22. The Knights over the Broncos, and down they go wide. Tahu.
Well, they're toying with the Brisbane defence at the moment. They know that they've got them rattled. Not much communication obvious in the Brisbane team. A classic example. The last kick on that set of 6, Kevin Walters put the ball down. There wasn't anyone near to chase it anyway.
And already the Knights are inside the Broncos' territory. Rudder to Hughes. That ball was touched. It was touched by Michael Hancock.
He's still offside. He's offside. He's offside.
And Bampton claimed it. He was in an offside position. This is going to be great field position again for the Knights. That's the ball touch there from Michael Hancock, and Bampton is in front. So Holbrook drills it into touch. So you'd think if the Knights can score here, they might wrap this one up with a second half blitz. Holbrook.
Well, they're obviously very confident, Greg. They had the chance to kick the goal there and stretch the lead to 6 points.
This is Billy Peatham. He scored a double. He's 12 metres out. Holbrook and Fairley. Remember, the Knights have done this in the second half without Matthew Johns as well, and Fairley will play it only a metre out. O'Brien diving for the line. Somehow they managed to shut him down. Right up, wide they go. It's out there for Hughes. Cutting back on the inside, he gives it back now to Fletcher. And Fletcher will take them on. And he gets it out to Peden. They've got numbers over here on the short side, but they knock it on. And Brisbane come away with it. So they're still in it, the Broncos. Harvey Howard, taken by O'Brien.
Broncos are still in it, Greg, but I think you've got to say that Newcastle, they're that keen to try and wrap the game up. They're not planning it all that well. They had a chance to be able to just run their 6 out. If they don't score, try and score from the next set.
Hodges back on the inside. But the Knights mark up. Kerrod Walters. Michael Hancock. Shrugged one of the defenders off. It's there now for the Knights. The Broncos forcing the passes. They went to ground. Penalty to the Knights. Now this one is right in front.
No, you never made it to marker. You were never onside.
30 metres out. Do they take the 2 here and stretch it to 6 and eat away some precious time on the clock as well? They're going to go for the 2.
There's no doubt Kerrod Walters was the man that came into play. What he actually tried to do was come into second marker. The ball got played just a little bit quicker. Hampstead sprinted in to penalise him. This could be a bit of a problem for Brisbane because they know that whilst they're not able to maintain field position, they're also faced the case that they have to score now. They're going to have to take chances inside the last 10 minutes, and that's very uncomfortable for a team when you've got to try and launch that well inside your own territory against a team that are full of confidence and are on fire in the defensive as well as their attack.
26-22 at the moment. A tense moment on the Knights bench there. Some of the Origin stars and also Matt Parsons, one of the injured Knights, looking on. Holbrook, left-footed kick. It's away, waved away. So the scoreline remains 26-22. The Knights over the Broncos. Broncos scored 22 points in the first half to the Knights 4 in the second half. The Knights have scored 22 points to the Broncos 0. Now a knock on by Paul Rahahi.
Well, it was almost a comedy of errors, Greg, wasn't it, that one? The left foot kick was probably the worst one we've seen in a dropout situation all year. There was a couple of Broncos players throwing their hands in the air, hoping that the ball wasn't going to go out in the full. It landed just inside play, surprising the Newcastle players as much as anybody else.
Hodges. Tamana Tahu moved up pretty quickly from that scrum, and the referee got him as well. So the penalty to the Broncos. They need to put this into touch deep inside the Knights' territory.
Oh, that hasn't gone out.
And he hasn't found touch. Well, in the first half, the youngsters really measured up. In the second half, up against a fired-up Newcastle side. The lack of experience showing there. Berrigan, he'll be disappointed with that, not finding touch. Rudder. Tahu. He's lost it. Knock back. That's the halfway mark. David Fairley. 10 metres inside Brisbane territory. Holbrook going to the air again. Now Hodges hasn't got a clue where this one's going. Fortunately for him, it goes over the dead ball line. Well, he lost sight of it completely.
Well, he did. You said that he didn't have any idea where it was going. I'm not sure whether he wanted to know where it was going either. He was just hoping the ball was going to sail harmlessly over the dead ball line. Thankfully, the Broncos, it did.
This is Walker. Shane Walker. Inside the final 10 minutes now. Hodges.
And they're not going to break Newcastle's defence that way. They've got to adopt the tactics they had in the first half. Shift them around, stretch them side to side, and wait for the holes to pop in the middle.
Well, De Vere and Bampton were very solid on attack in the centres for Brisbane in the first half. Kevin Walters running to the line and offloading the flat pass. But the Knights were waiting this time. Back to Kevin. And now Webb. Final tackle coming up. They put it through the hand. Bampton. Does he know it's a final tackle? Well, it's been called back anyway for a forward pass. Get the call from the touch judge. And that's going to be a handover.
I don't think there was too.
Oh, I tell you what, I've seen worse.
Well, I guess when you look at that and you look at the try that Newcastle were awarded, you've got to say you've seen worse get away with it.
Which one called it?
You would like to think the closest one.
Who do you reckon?
That's the 30 now. The Knights looking to seal it. Perry.
This bloke's been terrific throughout the course of the second half. Perry doesn't get a lot of pace up, but gee, he makes a dent in the middle of the Broncos' ruck.
Holbrook, and Rudder has put it down just as Abraham picks it up. They had some numbers over on the far side. I think they were heading in the right direction. And Sean just couldn't control it, Sean Rudder.
It's pretty safe to say, had he managed to control that, Brisbane's chances for the afternoon were all finished. And 3 men on 1. The Broncos are going to have to come up with something in attack, though. They're very flat at the moment. Got to try and stretch them. A run-around play could be the thing to use.
Bampton calling Hancock back on the inside. Harvey Howard driven back in the tackle. Kevin Walters, wide they go. Walker back on the inside. Webb. The Knights hold their ground again. They were waiting. Gerard Walters falling over from dummy half.
Oh, it's a dominant tackle. He slipped over.
Kevin wide to nobody. Picked up by Chris Walker. He hasn't had too many opportunities in the second half. Chris Walker scored a great try in the first half. Back it goes to Harrison. And Harrison eventually gets the kick in. A wobbly one off the left boot. And Abraham manages to get it just in the field of play. De Vere, the chaser. Oh, touch and go.
No, he would have been right.
27 metres out from the Newcastle line. Rahahi. Good tackle around the bootlaces by Bampton. Over the top was Berrigan. Rudder, 10 from halfway. 6 minutes remaining. 26-22. The Knights over the Broncos. And that ball will go into touch over on the far side.
Thanks, Phil.
Don't think it was meant to go there. In the end, not a bad result. It slows things down a little bit. The Knights can't afford to shut up shop just yet. 4 points the difference. Dramatic turnaround in the second half. Brisbane still dominating the possession, though. A lot of that a carryover from the first 40. Inside their own half, Brisbane playing 58% inside their territory. They have the ball now. 60 metres out from the try line. De Vere. They've tried to find holes around the ruck all the second half, and they can't do it. Walters. Walker. Hodges. Carries Tahu for 10 metres on his back. This is Harrison. 32 metres out from the line. Gerard Walters, and now to the short side they go. Oh, there's a high shot there. The referee saying it's okay. It was right in front of the touch judge over on the far side as well.
Too close to the touch judge to make a decision.
Yeah,
Well, they go to the air here. Who wants this one?
One, not one.
There's a knock-on by the Broncos, so there's a
Have a change.
handover.
Copy.
The changeover will take place 20 metres out from the Newcastle line. Let's have a look at this over on the far side.
Nope. Healthy.
Under the touch judge in front of the referee.
Yeah. Can't run without a head.
Too close to them, Greg, I told you.
It's the Knights. 4 in front, 4 minutes remaining. Rudder. Holbrook. 1-on-1, and they've stolen it.
1-on-1.
They have stolen it.
Yeah, Knights.
Kevin Walters trying to pull out all the tricks he knows to try and get this young side home. They look home and hosed at half-time, leading 22 points to 4, but they haven't been able to get into it in the second half. 4 unanswered tries by the Knights. Michael Hancock.
Come through, let him go. Hands off. Tony Butterfield.
Webb straight ahead, out the back door. Keating, 31 metres out. They'll probably get this set, maybe one, possibly two, through the hands. Berrigan trying to get on the outside of his man. Perry held on. Harrison kicking back on the inside. Abraham has it, and Abraham will play it 10 metres out. Well, De Vere knew what was on that occasion, but Abraham was perfectly positioned at fullback. Now it's Ryder. 25 metres out. Beckett, 30 metres out. Fairley now, just one out stuff. Holbrook got the kick away. De Vere is back. 10 metres out from his own line. Chase is a little slow getting there, but De Vere's pretty slow as well. He looks to be almost out on his feet. Michael De Vere. Kevin Walters still trying hard. Across it goes now to Hodges, and Hodges can't get away from Simpson on that occasion. Curtis showing it back on the inside, electing to try and find a way through himself. Harrison. They need a bit of spark. Kevin Walters. Wide ball, big long pass out to Michael Hancock. Back on the inside it goes. Warwick. Final tackle still. Bampton. This is Webb. Webb fires one over. Interceptor's on. It's been cleaned up there by the Newcastle Knights. Here's Ryder. That's the halfway mark. The Knights leading by 26-22. 2 tries to Abraham in the second half, 2 to Billy Peden after they were down and out at half-time. O'Brien straight ahead. Final tackle coming up. The Broncos will get one last crack at them. There's Holbrook stabbing it down to Chris Walker. So they've got to get to the other end of the park. De Vere. Well, to expect the Broncos to win here today, Wally, was always going to be a big ask. What have they taken away from this match?
Oh, probably a lot of confidence in their young blokes. Oh, and hello.
Come here.
A penalty for an incorrect play.
Put your elbow down on top of him, and you're going on report 2. Put the elbow down on top of him like that.
And Harrison is on report as well.
Well, I think that's just frustration. You can see that the players... I hope that wasn't the one he's put him on report.
Oh, it looks that way. I mean, you see that sort of thing happen every game. Probably every third tackle, something like that happens.
Anyway, Brisbane, I think you can say that what happened there was an indication of the frustration. Totally dominated in the second half by the home team, who put on a wonderful performance to celebrate their coach's record-equalling number.
And isn't he happy? He knows that he's got out of jail. Down and out at half-time, 22 points to 4. They changed the tactics in the second half. The Broncos couldn't go with them, and the fans, a very good crowd here at Marathon, had plenty to celebrate. Well, you have to feel for this young Brisbane Broncos side. They gave it everything in the first half, but in the end, their lack of experience showed at certain times in the second half. A few things went against them that added to their frustration. John's boys there, Matty, didn't play the second half because of the calf injury. Andrew on origin duty, Ben Kennedy there, Matthew Gidley as well. This man never stopped trying, the man on screen, Kevin Walters. But he needed another 2 or 3 veterans around him just to steady the ship in the second half. So they can hold their heads high, this young Brisbane Broncos side, and Brisbane remain on top of the ladder after round 18. The Knights will stay in the top 8. So full time, 26-22. Abraham got a double, Peden a double, Beckett scored the only try the Knights scored in the first half. Holbrook 3 from 6. For Brisbane, tries to Banton, Kevin Walters, Chris Walker and Ashley Harrison to veer kick 3 from 5. They were kept scoreless in the second half against a rampaging Newcastle Knights outfit. So they're happy here, the Newcastle Knights. They've defeated the Broncos, and on behalf of Wally Lewis and Brett Kenny, I'm Greg Clark. For the time being, it's farewell from Newcastle, 26-22, the Knights over the Broncos.
And I've learnt never to give it a second thought.